So welcome back to DecoyNoise and another episode of Am I the Antagonist? And am I the antagonist for telling off my daughter for a horrible comment she made towards her sister, even though she feels like she's correct and justified? So as always, we read the story in its entirety, we rush it over to Decoy Court where I give you my knee-jerk reaction, then we do the decoy defense where I give the inverse of that. I read some of the top comments and the controversial comments, then we read your comments down below, but let's go ahead and get to the story right now. So OP wrote, my older daughter is now 31 and my younger daughter is 27. 4 years ago, my older daughter's fiance left her for my younger daughter a month before their wedding. Yes, it is as terrible as it sounds, made even worse by the fact that my younger daughter was 2 months along in her pregnancy. I was extremely disappointed in my younger daughter. They both claimed they were in love and are still married till now. It literally destroyed my family. My older daughter has banned her sister from coming around her, which everyone has been accommodating all these years. It makes holidays very stressful, but it is what it is. I tried my best to have a good relationship with my grandchild while navigating the family issues. My older daughter has made very cruel comments about the grandchild, which I've ignored. That's a mistake on my part for not shutting it down. In February, my older daughter dropped off by our house unexpectedly and encountered my younger daughter, son-in-law, and grandchild. It was very tense and my younger daughter broke down in tears and tried apologizing again and revealed to us that my grandchild was very likely on the autism spectrum. My oldest daughter immediately replied by that it's sad that the karma of cheating parents is inflicted on the children and that maybe this will be a lesson for my younger daughter. My son-in-law and my oldest daughter got in a huge fight and everyone left in tears. I've always been sympathetic to my older daughter and have usually taken her side, but I think what she said is extremely out of line and mean. I told her that what she said was unacceptable and that she needs to apologize or I will not be having her over anymore. She then told me that my parenting is atrocious and it's no wonder my younger daughter turned out to be a bad word. I clearly messed up somewhere to have raised two daughters who've made such cruel judgments, but am I wrong for taking a stand on these issues? Both my daughters are lovely people with a lot of success, but our family is so angry and sad now. My oldest daughter is complete opposite of who she used to be, but she refuses to go to therapy even when I offer to pay for it and come with her if she wants. I'm just heartbroken. So they want to know, am I the antagonist? So as always, got to take the case and just rush it over to Decoy Court because we got a lot of feelings and thoughts to give on this story right here. So what it really comes down to is older daughter is attacking the nephew slash niece or whatever, I don't think they clarify, but they're attacking them for the crimes of the younger daughter, which is causing collateral damage because the older daughter is also talking trash about, OP's grandkid. Now, the story is simply terribly all around, but not only was the son-in-law engaged to the older daughter, but he was cheating on the older daughter on the older daughter with the younger daughter for enough time to get the younger daughter pregnant. So if the math kind of checks out in the top of the story, it happened 4 years ago, and so the older daughter had to have been 27 when she was engaged and the younger daughter was 23 at the time. So basically the son-in-law left their fiance for a girl still in college, and then add that with the fact that they're sisters. Like, I feel like if Maury was still around right now, Maury Povich, he'd be like foaming at the mouth right now to try to get these family on his show. But all jokes aside, OP definitely needs to stick up for his own grandkid. Like, regardless of the situation between the daughters, he can't just give his eldest daughter a license to kill everybody's emotions just because many moons ago her feelings were betrayed. Does older daughter just need to suck it up and be a good aunt? No, they can be mad the rest of their life and that's perfectly fine, but she also can't sit there and just, be at mom and dad's house and drop diss tracks on the other members of the family because she's angry, like they just need to probably separate still. But I guess we got to move it over to the decoy defense on the sense of like, what would be the other situation? And it's like, this is all original poster's fault. The whole lockdown situation has made all television and all movie productions just come to a halt. So even Christopher Nolan's Tenet, it's already completed, but it's just never going to see the light of day until they get the whole lockdown and theater situation figured out. So OP has no more 90 Day Fiance, no more new vampire movie teen dramas in theaters, no more new episodes of Kardashian crying montage. OP is bored. So 4 years of never having the kids over at the same time, and suddenly the entire cast of OP's family drama shows up. Like, this is the season finale of OP's favorite reality show, Keeping Up with the Bachelor, Temptation Island of the Sisters Traveling Pants, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, we can make the sisters entirely innocent in this situation. If OP's just bored, passing the time, and he just invites everybody over at the same time because he just wants to see something happen for change. But no, back to reality. We really gotta judge OP, like really judge OP in this situation. And I probably controversially want to say there's no antagonist here because this is just a very, very rough situation, you know? He has multiple people he needs to defend in this scenario. The older daughter is his daughter, younger daughter is his daughter, and his own grandkid, you know? He can't choose favorites and probably just needs to go case by case on who's the victim and who's the aggressor in every specific incident and decide who he's going to defend in that one, you know, all while wondering if he's genuinely a failure as a father for creating this whole mess, you know. I want to stand up for love and say if the younger daughter and the son-in-law were truly in love, yeah, they probably got to run away together, but also OP needs to stand by his older daughter in defense. So it's like, you know, no antagonists here because everyone's just got a lot to deal with, and it's just, I hate to pile on anybody in particular because they just got, it's a rough situation. So if you like this situation, you like these stories, we'll take a short break right now. Make sure you subscribe down below with the notifications on, and also drop your comment before we hear the top comments and the controversial comments, because oftentimes they change our mind. But if you like this type of content, also swing by Decoy Voice, the secondary channel I'll make. I'll put the link in the description because it won't have its own URL, but just the idea, we're going to do more stories like this with the decoy defense, silly kind of response to those stories, but it's going to be more serious things and more realistic, you know, trending topics or whatever. So if you like this, you like me, maybe you'll like that content as well. Go check it out. But let's go ahead and get to the top comment that got some flame emojis right now. So they're saying, you're the antagonist. I'm giving the older daughter a pass because her comment was justified. Let's break down exactly why. Finding out your fiance was cheating a month before the wedding is a huge blow. I can't imagine how horrible it would be to find out that it was with your own sister and that she was pregnant. That is grounds for permanently removing those two from your life. Now we have the mother. What was her reaction? I'm extremely disappointed in sister, but she gave us the first grandchild, so I'm not gonna rock the boat too hard. You make the holidays work, so it's obvious she has seen very little to no actual repercussions for what they did. Now, older daughter simply suggests the daughter is getting her comeuppance and that she feels sorry for the child, and this is where you take your stand? Is this the breaking point? A step too far? Jesus, OP, could you make it any more obvious how much you favor your younger daughter? Your older daughter is right, but your parenting is atrocious. My oldest daughter is a complete opposite of who she used to be. No crap, Sherlock. Her fiance cheated with her younger sister, and her family decided that was perfectly fine. While therapy probably would be helpful for her, therapy needs to be something with someone you trust. Why would she want you there? You've more than shown where your loyalties lie. Editing to add a lot of the comments. I never said the older daughter's comment wasn't the antagonist comment, but if you think the actions are justified, then you don't give them everyone sucks here. The majority of my original comment addresses the justification, but there are other things as well. Older daughter wasn't the first to bring up the autism. Her sister threw it in her face to garner sympathy. Older daughter isn't blaming any of this on the innocent child, and in fact, to feel sorry for the child might be a vessel for karmatic retribution. This is putting everything to the parents. If she wants to believe autism is a punishment, I agree that's the antagonist move, but I still feel for her comment to her sister was justified, and the older sister's views on disabilities are not in any way reflect my own. So I see where they're coming from with this, but I 100% disagree with this whole scenario where you just say, hey, look, now that you've been betrayed and these people, like, you know, don't stick up for you, you now have that license to kill. You can do whatever you want. Older sister can do no wrong because we owe it to her, and I feel like that's the wrong precedence to start, in the sense that, yes, the older sister has a reason to be angry and she can say whatever she wants, but it's still his own grandchild. Or maybe the OP's a girl, I didn't think about that, but it's still their grandchild. OP needs to stick up for their grandchild, and OP needs to try to lessen the fighting between the two of them, especially when they're in there. If OP just sits there and says, yep, I agree with older daughter, my grandchild should suffer some punishments for this terrible scenario and what the younger sister do, it's like, that'd be a terrible thing right there too. And it's also the idea that this poster right here is also trying to say that no one's standing up for older daughter, no one's saying, you know, younger daughter is doing this scot-free. It's like, no, they're having separate Thanksgiving, separate Christmases, separate holidays. They totally, like, you know, the older daughter is probably used to be friends with the younger daughter, so now they've lost a friendship with the their only sibling. Like, I don't want to say that, I feel like that's jumping ahead of the situation, saying, oh yeah, nothing ever happened to older daughter. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't, but now they're just trying to, I feel like they're jumping to conclusions in this scenario because we don't really have clarification as to what else is going on between the two of them. But let's go ahead and read the next reply to that comment saying, you're the antagonist. Got to agree with this person. You totally made it okay for the younger to cheat and get everything she wants. Then she tries to get sympathy and manipulate older with a possible diagnosis that hasn't happened yet. What a horrible person you raised. Personally, I would cut off younger for being a trash person who is obviously a narcissistic piece of work. So I feel like people are entitled to their mistakes. Yes, this is a terrible mistake. Yes, this is probably one of the more atrocious things you can do to family in the grand scheme of things, but I wouldn't want to say that, yes, now we have to cut off, wow, the camera's all messed up. Now we have to cut off this person because they made a bad mistake in life. Like, they're still your daughter, they're still your grandchild. Like, I would have a hard time saying, okay, yeah, you made this mistake, now you're on your own, you gotta go. You've been banished from the family just because you want to say, okay, the oldest sister, we have to take care of her. Like, I feel like there's some sort of middle ground. Like I was saying before, OP has a lot to navigate in the sense of protecting this person, then protecting that person. So, I mean, I don't really agree with everything they have to say, but let's go ahead and get to the next top comment saying, you're the antagonist. First of all, it was your youngest daughter who viewed autism as a negative thing. Why else would she bring it into the argument? Your older daughter said it's that the karma of cheating parents inflicted on the child, and you are rightfully upset by this, but I think you're a bit too upset. First, it was your youngest daughter who first brought the child into the argument, and she also obviously views autism as being something negative since she's using it for sympathy. I don't see you being upset at your youngest daughter, though. Second, your youngest daughter is not a lovely person. Maybe she used to be a lovely person long ago, but I doubt it. Lovely people don't shoot with their siblings' fiance. Third, I can't believe you still view your youngest daughter's husband as son-in-law. You're accepting of someone who cheated on your daughter? No wonder your eldest daughter feels upset. Fourth, you threaten to stop allowing your oldest daughter over to the house unless she apologizes, yet you still allow the youngest daughter and her husband over despite them being cheaters. Do you really view your oldest daughter's mean comments as a worse offense than literally cheating with someone's fiance? Fifth, although this isn't your fault, your older daughter probably feels that you offer a lot of taking her to a therapist is almost if you're telling that there's something wrong with her and then she needs to get over it. She probably feels that you're blaming her, which must definitely hurt because since you also seem very partial towards your younger daughter and her husband. To me, it seems that you clearly chosen sides and that you support your younger daughter and your son-in-law despite your son-in-law being a proven promiscuous cheater. This is why you're the antagonist. Wait, is this one? Okay, so that post is just going to keep on going on and on and on. I just can't. So I'll break it down on this right here. They say, first of all, they're viewing autism as a negative thing. Yeah, I think that the child is not going to get to experience the world as most other people in the world are. So you're not necessarily saying it's negative or bad or anything, but it's just saying that, hey, look, this is going to impact them in life. So yes, they're going to discuss it. Like, why are they all trying to blast them, saying like it's a good thing that they have that? It's like, I don't think anybody's going to argue that. So I don't know where that part is coming in here. And the idea is, the older daughter's attacking their grandchild, so they're not allowed to, because their daughter did something wrong, they can't defend their own grandchild. I don't agree with that. And they said, your youngest daughter is not a lovely person. It's like they fell in love with the wrong person, now they have a family, so they can't make any mistakes. Yes, it's a terrible mistake, but their family, they have to kind of see through that. As terrible as it is, they're gonna have to see through that. They say that, third, I can't believe you're still seeing your son-in-law as a son-in-law. He's the son-in-law, the father of their grandchild. There's nothing they can do about that. And all the ideas. Fourth, you can't threaten to send your eldest daughter away unless they apologize. It's like, yes, they probably need to stand up for the grandchild. And the idea is they don't think the youngest daughter has done anything to apologize or try to make amends or whatever it may be. Yes, they're terrible cheaters and everything, but there has to be some sort of thing where, like, not everything gets the death penalty. And I feel like this is the story where it's like, yes, they cheated on the daughter and it's a terrible thing, so now we need to oust them from society. They're giving the older daughter a path to coming back, and the whole idea is saying the whole, like, taking her to the therapist is telling her that she's doing something wrong. It's like, no, taking her to a therapist and paying for the therapy is saying, hey, look, you need to recover from this. A terrible thing happened to you. Let's make sure you're taken care of in whatever way we can do it. I'll go with you. I'll pay for you to go alone, whatever it is. I feel like they see it as a negative thing to go to therapy, but it's like, no, it's just like any other doctor you would go see or any other, like, physical therapy or whatever you would take. It's just the healing process. Why is everybody so against OP standing up for their own grandchild just because the circumstances around it are pretty shady, and two, therapy is this negative thing? I don't understand why they just don't want OP or the older daughter to get that. But the top comments are very thorough, very angry at the OP and the younger daughter. So let's see if the next controversial comment will be in the youngest daughter's defense. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but let's go ahead and check it out. So this person got a lot of downvotes saying, you're not the antagonist. The child has done nothing wrong, and they are not to blame for the parents' atrocious actions. I must confess that I'm surprised the younger daughter is welcome and spoken to, though. She committed such a terrible act to her sister and her family as a whole. And here's the thing is, they're still the family, you know? They still want to be a good parent. They still want to see their grandchild. Just because she's a less than satisfactory person doesn't make her not the grandchild. And here's a person is... That poster right there wasn't even as nice to the daughter, the youngest daughter, as I was, and they got terribly downvoted. So I imagine my reaction, my upvote to downvote ratio on this video is going to be atrocious, because apparently you're not allowed to stick up for OP on this post. The next reply, terribly downvoted, is not the antagonist. I feel sorry for your eldest daughter, though. I can't imagine that type of betrayal, and to feel like nobody is on her side must be very hard. And I think that would be a good assessment of the situation. Like, oh yeah, the elder daughter must feel like everybody cares about the grandchild and this family unit that I could have been a part of, and now dad or mom is taking their side. Like, they must feel very ousted from the family and very, you know, very painful, and oh, they want me to go see therapy. Like, how dare they, that type of situation. But the idea is they're saying all the right things in this post, but still getting downvotes because they said OP's not the antagonist. Like, what do they expect from the father or mother, whoever the original poster is, to make them happy? I feel like everybody has their torch and pitchforks out right now, saying we have to just, everybody needs to be everybody sucks. Someone needs to pay for the atrocities of the younger daughter. So OP sucks, daughter sucks, kid sucks, the son-in-law sucks, everybody sucks. Just come to the aid of the elder daughter, and anything else is wrong. It's like there's probably more to the story right here than what we're seeing. So I just have a hard time feeling like we need to just blast everybody, and there's no like reconciliation. Like, yes, there could be terrible things. They're probably not going to be the same sisters they were ever before, but I mean, at some point in time, forgiveness has to be a thing. I'm trying to say, like, you know, it's probably not going to be in the 4 years, and I don't expect her to be the aunt that she wanted to be, especially when she's probably looking from the outside, looking at the family that she was probably promised at one point in time, especially with the engagement ring and the wedding already planned. But I just have a hard time jumping on this bandwagon of, you know, torch and pitchforks that Reddit seems to have towards this person, saying, like, we have to lock this post because everybody's so angry at each other right now. I just don't agree with that. So, I mean, if you like the content, yeah, make sure you subscribe with the notifications on. And honestly, tell me if I'm wrong. I don't mind if you guys have a different perspective and can change my mind, because I'm more than willing to hear input, especially from you guys. Sometimes the top comments I feel like got all wound up, like in this story right here. But, I mean, I like to hear what the Decoy Court has to say. And as always, I appreciate you making it through the very end of this video. This one longer video than normal, but I mean, if you like the content, try to share it with someone that may or may not like it, because I feel like the YouTube algorithm is kind of punishing the channel. Who really knows why? So share it with somebody. Check out the new Decoy Voice channel if you want to see just me with more serious topics. But as always, you don't got to do any of that over there. You can just put this on autoplay and watch the next episode of DecoyNoise coming up next.